was also co-mentor with Pat at the time in 1977. And she is why I went into pediatrics and then later into curling and later into golfing at Canada. A triple mentor. So in 1954 she was at the University of Manchester, and that's where she got her medical degree. And I just want you to know that she moved over to Canada and to finish her residency in Canada under the aegis of McGill University. I guess the pointer doesn't work in this. But if you look at, that's Redpath Hall on McTavish. If you look at the architecture of Manchester University, you see the triple windows, and it's almost identical to Redpath Hall. So I figure that's why you came to McGill. It was just like home. So in 1964, you started your 51-year clinical experience at the Children's, and it was a very fruitful and very star-studded career at the Montreal Children's. This is the Montreal Children's as it was before it got demolished, and now we have condos there. And that's actually where I was born, believe it or not, when it was the western wing of the Montreal General Hospital. Anyway, moving on. I'm moving right along. It's not about me. It's so in 2015, we moved from the Montreal Children's on Tupper to the Glen site, which was probably the last year. I guess that's when you retired, was the year of the move. Yeah. You actually did move there, but that's the 1 year you spent at the Glen site. Yeah. But during that time, over those 51 years, there were many thousands of children that were treated by Pat. And it wasn't just treating like a pediatrician, which she was, but she treated children specifically with multisystemic problems like that, neurological, the spina bifida clinic that you were part of, that you started, a clinic like hemiplegic or hemihypertrophy clinic, and the UTI clinic that you started on your own. So she was a real groundbreaker in terms of setting up all these clinics for these children that had multi-system disease. So it was quite remarkable. She, on top of her doctor's hat, she of course had a teacher's hat as an associate professor at McGill University, and she trained hundreds of medical students like me and pediatric residents throughout her career. And it didn't finish in 2015 because in 2018 they started a program called the HCAP Fellowship at the Montreal Children's Hospital, in which retired physicians can go back to the Children's and teach residents pro bono and mentor residents, and it's a fantastic program. So she does go back to the new Glen site for Montreal Children's and does continue her teaching and mentoring the medical students and pediatric residents to this day. So on top of that, not only is she a teacher, but she's also a perpetual student, because she's part of the McGill Community for Lifelong Learning, from which she gets all kinds of information. She knows a lot about many things.
She did a talk on that.
And can engage you in a conversation about everything from cement, which she did here last year. She gave a presentation on it. I forget the title of your presentation, I'm afraid, but I do remember that.
I remember that.
Concrete, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oops. Oh, that shows how much I learned.
I remember that. Yes.
About concrete, and it was very well attended, and so that was the conference that you gave last year. That was a spin-off from your presentation at McGill Community for Lifelong Learning, I believe, right? It was one of your classes, yeah. And also mushroom picking, yes, we've been to John Abbott college to do some mushroom picking at some point, which was a lot of fun. But of course, she's a natural botanist and she knows everything about plants and mushrooms, and certainly with flowers. If you go to the botanical gardens, you know the names of all the flowers, whereas I might know that's about it. So also then we're going to switch over to the RMCC curler's hat. If I talk about history and historical events, you're going to have to forgive me if I indulge in a couple of dates here. 1807, of course everybody knows the Montreal Curling Club was founded, and it was all male at the time. Ladies did curl, and there are some photographs of ladies curling before 1894, and in fact in 1894 there's a bunch of ladies that got together, led by Mrs. Whitehead, who got together and founded the Ladies Montreal Curling Club, which was founded on the premises of the Royal Montreal Curling Club because the ladies rented. Is something wrong? Am I wrong in my history? Okay.
I think it should be the centennial of the ladies' branch of the Royal Montreal Curling Club.
Yes. At the centennial of the Ladies Montreal Curling Club. That's what it says. At the centennial of the LMCC.
Yes, right. My fault.
Okay, good. So there was the Ladies Montreal Curling Club and the Montreal Curling Club, they were in parallel. They had their independent structures, but they had their own presidents and whatnot. The Ladies Montreal Curling Club rented the ice time from the men in the Montreal Curling Club. That's good. So, and I can't avoid talking about 1924, because 1924 is when King George V gave royal assent to change the club's name from the Montreal Curling Club to the Royal Montreal Curling Club. And at the same time, the Ladies Montreal Curling Club changed their name to the Ladies Branch of the Royal Montreal Curling Club.
Okay.
So exactly 100 years ago. So we had an event 2 weeks ago to celebrate that 100-year anniversary of the change. So to get back to Pat, though, to digress, I'm sorry. So in 1994, at the centennial of the Ladies Montreal Curling Club, the Royal Montreal Curling Club agreed to admit women into its male-only club. So it took until 1997 till Joan McCrimmon applied to become a member, and Pat Forbes followed suit soon after, and they were accepted to join the main branch of the Royal Montreal Curling Club. And lo and behold, it didn't take very long until Pat Forbes became a very notable event that was even made the papers. In the Westmount Independent on October 6th, 2009, we have her picture here, given the pin, the president's pin, from Louis Gascon at the time. So
Wow.
just thought you might like to see that newspaper article. The curlers, she was also one of the first female skips of the RMCC that I had the pleasure of competing with under her wing at the time, and she brought us far and wide. Not only did she skip us, especially Suzanne Pitt and I enjoyed being on her team, but we ended up in places like Cape Cod, where we had a team there, always led by Pat, always eager to dress up in whatever we wanted to, sometimes in very droll fashion. You see the bottom picture there. That was in Cornwall, Ontario, where we had a pajama party during a bonspiel. The theme was a pajama party, and Pat had put her hair up in rollers for the event. And that's, of course, at the curling, at the TCC, oh goodness, the country club, sorry, in Boston. That picture over there, which was an all-woman team, and on the right, that's what I was doing renewal that we went to a couple of times, this time with Josh Whedon. So then there's also the K for K hat, the Curling for Kids hat, which there are innumerable pictures of her, of Pat holding up checks for the benefit of the Curling for Kids. And I believe that's Robbie there, is it not?
Yeah.
Yes, there we go. That's Robbie to the left, towering over his grandmother, and Jim and Tracy Johnson and Pat holding the grand total for that was donated to the Children's Hospital Foundation and the Shoe Center Sale. And there's another grandchild next to the mascot of the Montreal Children's. Claudia, your granddaughter. So, needless to say, the grandchildren got under her wing as well, got drawn into various curling events over the years. So I could go on and on and on with the pictures and different hats that she's worn over the years, including leading us in song. That's a nice picture of Dev there at the Christmas party, singing Christmas carols, and traveling with her daughter Catherine, who's at the head table, in the lower left picture. So there are so many hats that she's worn over the ages, excuse me. Over the millennia. Well, it was over a millennia. So anyway, I'll just finish it there with wishing you a very sincere happy birthday, March the 16th. It's coming up. And just want to give a toast again to our former president, and best hat of all, your sunny disposition hat.
Event off the ground and brought together so many people with whom I've been friends for so many years. I think one of the best things I did in life, you have periods in your life that you remember, and one of the best periods was joining the Royal Montreal Curling Club. And I think it's an example of how lucky you all are to be here in this club and enjoy the company of the friends that you meet. So thank you all. I'm not going to make a speech. I just want to say something about Arjun. With his camera, because Arjun was an expert on hats. I don't know whether some of those things you found were actually found by Arjun.
No.
Well, you and I had a thing about
Yeah.
Anyway, it wasn't Arjun. Thank you all so much. I really enjoyed being here and enjoyed your friendship, all of you. Thank you.
So now,